Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, tomorrow we'll make the halfway point in the 2025-26 non-racing season. So today we are 53 days away from the 2026 Daytona 500. And so tomorrow will be 52. We'll be exactly halfway from when we started, leaving Phoenix at day 104 on that Monday to 0 in the morning of the 500. All right, car number 53. Not a lot of stats, only one win in the top 3 series. Some of these car numbers, obviously for being a longtime fan of the sport, I know, you don't see it very often. Some of them kind of surprised me on the lack of numbers, and 53 was one of them. 289 Cup starts, 1 win, 6 top 5s, 27 top 10s. First race was September 17, 1950. Last race was November 21st, 2021. So it's been 4 seasons since we saw the 53 in the Cup Series. 65 different drivers have driven a number 53. Only one driver ever won. 140 times it was a Ford. 116 times it was a Chevrolet. 15 Oldsmobile, 11 Pontiac, 9 Dodge, 7 Plymouth, 4 Buick, 4 Studebaker, a Hudson, and a Kaiser. And a Sprite. Yes, I've never heard of that car make before. Jimmy Helms, most starts with 60 with 4 top 10s, average finish 18.8. Garrett Smithley, 34 starts, average finish 32.3. Sleek Johnson, 21 starts, 5 top 10s, average finish 21.9. Joey Gase, 12 starts, average finish 30.8. Josh Bilicki, 12 starts, average finish 33.3. James Davison, 10 starts, average finish 33.7. Bob Burdick, 9 starts, the 1 win, 2 top 5s, 5 top 10s, average finish 20.6. Now this isn't an all-inclusive list. I always talked about the top 7 in the starts. There are a total of 65 different drivers. You can go to driveraverages.com. You can see the all-inclusive list there. In the Xfinity side, 170 starts for the number 53. Among 39 different drivers. First start was July 28, 1984. Last start November 1st, 2025. 4 top 5s, 15 top 10s in those 170 starts. Hank Parker Jr., 60 starts, 4 top 5s, 13 top 10s, average finish 22.4. Joey Gase, 20 starts, average finish 26.9. Mason Maggio, 9 starts, average finish 29.3. Now, this is not an all-inclusive list for these drivers. This is only the stats for these drivers in the car number 53. So you can actually either go to racingreference.com and or driveraverages.com, look up any driver that's ever driven in NASCAR, and you can find all the stats there as well. Third Turn is also another place I go. You can actually find some additional stats and whatnot for other series there as well. Patrick Emmerling, 8 starts, average finish 29.3. Greg Clark, 7 starts, average finish 28.4. Ed Baer, 6 starts, average finish 17.7. On the truck side, just 12 different drivers for 39 races, 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s. So yeah, not a lot of stats there on the truck side as well. Randy Briggs, 17 starts, average finish 21.5. Dan Press, 6 starts, 1 top 5, 1 top 10, average finish 21.3. Josh Hopgood, 5 starts, 1 top 10, average finish 21.2. And TJ Bell, 3 starts, average finish 26.7. Yes, that is the TJ Bell. That is currently one of the top spotters in the NASCAR as well. As we count down these days until the Great American Race, the 2026 Daytona 500, we've gone through, again, car 104 through now 53. We've seen and heard drivers that we don't normally talk about. And some drivers that's like, oh yeah, that person had a win in NASCAR, that person did this. And so it's good sometimes to kind of review back on the history of this sport and remember some of these drivers that we tend to forget, And for those of you that are new to the countdown and new to Robert Sports Show, something that really sparked this for me is looking back at the history of this sport is on XM Satellite Radio. There's an afternoon show from 6 p.m. Eastern called Speedway with Dave Moody. And he does a Legends and Filter series where he interviews people from the past of NASCAR. And the very last question he asks every single one of them is, when we're all gone, we won't make it out of here alive, how do you want to be remembered? And everybody says different things. We talked about the Greg Biffle being remembered for his humanity efforts, and then his racing second and whatnot. And everyone has their own things where they want to be remembered. And Richard Petty said the best one to me, or said the best one I took, and it was, I just want to be remembered. I'm like, holy crap. We need to remember some of these drivers who created the foundation of the sport that we all love today. The sport is in the 77th year, getting ready to start 78th year, I believe. 1949 was the first year for what's now the Cup Series. A lot of history, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. We talked about the lawsuit and whatnot. But you know what? There are drivers who raced back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s that were a stepping stone for this sport that helped build the sport to what it is today. Some of you may agree or disagree what it is today, but that's a topic for a different time. But everyone had a foothold in building the foundation. So let's remember all of them. The Jimmy Helms of the world, 60 starts in the Cup Series. If you go to racingreference.net, I think it is, and you look at, you can search it by starts. There's like almost 3,000 people that made at least one start. But when you get to 10 starts, 20 starts, there's even less and less. So the fact that Jimmy Helms got to 60 starts, that is definitely something to be celebrated. Yeah, those 60 starts aren't, the 1,100 that Richard Petty had. But if you look at that list there, racingreference.info, only 229 drivers have made 100 or more starts in this sport. The fact that Jimmy Helms made 60 starts here in the number 53, we can look and see where his all-time starts are. Jimmy Helms made 88 career starts in the NASCAR Cup Series. 241 is where he sits all-time in the number of starts. So, and the guy right above him, Quinn Hoff, Stacy Compton, started 89 starts. So only 240 drivers had more starts in Cup than Jimmy Helms did. Jimmy Helms is never talked about. The Michael Annetts of the world, 224 Cup starts. And we talk about Xfinity stuff, but to be top 100 in starts, you just need 313. So it is a specialized crew of the people that have been around NASCAR for a while, and the fact that it is hard to do that, those people need celebrated, those people need remembered. So that is car number 53, as we are 53 days away from the 2026 Daytona 500. We'll have some other kind of videos, more modern day stuff leading up to it. I have a big plan for next off season. We'll see how that goes. About profiling all the champions in each decade, each car generation, each point system. There's been 8 different ones, and if we get a new one for next year, that'll be number 9. We still haven't found that out yet. I know there's arguments online about which is better. Well, F1 does this, but supercars did this, and they were mad, and this happened here, and this happened. That doesn't matter what those other people do. NASCAR doesn't need to be the follower. NASCAR needs to be the leader. NASCAR needs to do their own thing. Like it or hate it, there is only one stock car series in the world. That is NASCAR. So NASCAR should choose what's best for them. Personally, I'm pro playoff, but I can get behind any system. I just know if we do a full season points non-playoff like we used to, there's pros and cons to it. There's pros and cons to every system. So once we get the official word from NASCAR, which probably looks like next week or the week after, my guess is the week after, probably the first of the year, then we can kind of break it down, what it looks like, what my thoughts are, and we can kind of deep dive into what if, what could, and that kind of stuff. But as always, thanks for watching Rubber Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Rubber Sports Show, your YouTube leader. Sports channel content.